everyone, so I have decided that today I'm going to do a Q&A, and the reason why I've decided to do this is to just answer some of the questions that I get quite regularly, and also just to tell you a bit more about myself. I'm quite new here to YouTube, and I just think it would be nice for me to explain a bit more about myself, give you all a bit more insight about my life and how I've got to this point, and also just so that you can feel that you get to know me a little bit better. But yes, thank you to everybody who asked me a question, and I hope that this will give you a little bit more insight into me and help you to feel like we can connect a little bit more. So I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, so I did get quite a lot of the same questions, so I am just going to kind of wrap a few of those up into one so that I can answer them to begin. And this is a good one to begin because it kind of gives you a little idea about me. It says, "Hello Nicholas, a warm welcome from Jacksonville, Florida. I would like to know where you are located, what city, and how old are you?" Okay, so I am currently living in Edinburgh, which is in Scotland in the UK. I've been here since December last year, and I decided to come here because I wanted to live in a city that had beautiful architecture and all the things that I love, like historical buildings, museums, galleries, but that wasn't crazy expensive, and so Edinburgh was a really good option. I used to live quite close to Edinburgh about 5 years ago on the east coast of Scotland, and I used to travel into Edinburgh quite a lot, so it was familiar to me, so that was the reason for me moving to Edinburgh. And for people who are asking my age, I'm 30 and I'll be 31 in January, and I'm an Aquarius. Next question is also a good one because again it answers a lot of the questions that I had, and it kind of gives you more information about me, which is the whole purpose of this video. It says, "Hi Nicholas, I would like to know more about you, your background and how you came to this point in your life." Okay, so I was born in the West Midlands in the UK, which is a very humble place. My family are quite a normal family. I'm not aristocratic. I don't have a duchess as a grandmother. Family are very normal people. My parents both work, and my childhood was completely normal and very much down to earth. I've got a brother who's younger and a sister who's older, and we had a really fabulous childhood. My parents are amazing people, and they gave us everything they could, even though we weren't rich. So that kind of gives you a little bit of background about where I'm from. In terms of how did I get to this point and how did I start to enjoy beautiful things, I was quite a lonely child in terms of I didn't really have many friends when I was before secondary school, so before the age of 11. And so I kind of hung around with adults more, especially my grandmother, who always loved antiques and interiors and all the things that I really like. So I think that she's probably the person who influenced me and really got me into the things that I love today. One of the questions that I got quite a lot was about my qualifications to become a designer, and I have to say that I didn't have any qualifications. I didn't go to university and I didn't go to design school. Everything that I know about interior design is from books, from videos, from magazines, looking through magazines and observing every single picture and finding what I like and what I don't like and what I think works, and also by visiting interior design studios and showrooms and looking at every single thing in that room and seeing what it is that gets me excited. So is it a beautiful fabric? Is it the texture of a wallpaper? Is it the way the symmetry in the room gives it a sense of order and calm? It's those things that I think you can't really learn in a design school. And I actually have quite a few friends who've been to design school, and it was a really disappointing exercise because, especially nowadays in design schools, they're kind of pushing you to focus on modern and contemporary interiors. And I actually had one friend who went to design school in the hopes of learning all about interiors. She loved classic design, and she was so disappointed because every time she tried to present her work that was based around classic design, she was almost lambasted for it and made to feel like it wasn't good. So I think that design schools are good if you want to learn about the more technical things of design, like architecture and technical drawings. But for developing your personal taste, I would say buy as many books on the topic as you can, read all the beautiful interior design magazines, go to interior design stores and showrooms, touch fabrics, go and see beautiful objects, go to antique stores and really just find out what it is that's making you feel a certain way. If something makes you feel excited and happy and you just love it, think about what it is and keep honing that skill. That's my advice. In terms of my own interior design career and how that began, I actually about 10 years ago moved into a grade 1 listed house. Now in the UK we have grade listings on properties, which mean that you have to have permission before you can alter them if they have historical significance, and this property did. So before you even change the paint colours in the house, you have to have permission. And I just thought, if I'm going to decorate this place, it has to be done properly. This building has been here many years before me and will be there many years after me, so I'm just a small blip on this house. So what I'm going to do is do things properly, and that's how I began to read books, focus on the subject, really absorb myself in classic design, and I just fell in love with it. I started to get more confident in my work. I shared it through Instagram, and through Instagram I managed to gain my first commission in the Middle East. And I basically kept busy for a few years just doing that. For now, I'm kind of putting interior design to one side, even though I do love interiors and I'll always be, thinking about how I can improve my house and really enjoying the subject. It's not really where I want to head in terms of my career. I think there are people who are much more talented than I am, who've got wonderful teams, and for me, the pleasure of my life is to make beautiful content, beautiful videos, and just share what I know with everybody else, and basically how to make life more beautiful. That's my tagline and I'm sticking with it. Next question. I would love to know your workout routine and what you eat in a day, and if it's elegant as I imagine. Well, it's probably not as elegant as you imagine because it's quite boring. But my workout routine, I go to the gym Monday to Friday. I do an hour a day. I start by doing 15 minutes of cardio, usually running on the treadmill, and then for the next 45 minutes I do something called TRX training, which is a resistance exercise where you use your own body weight to create resistance and to build muscle. And I'm not looking to be a bodybuilder, I never will be, I just want to look lean and toned. So those things help me to do that, and also means that occasionally I can have a little piece of cake or a scone. In terms of what I eat in a day, I do eat quite clean and healthy. Many of you will know I do have a plant-based diet, which means I don't eat meat or animal products. So when you eat that way, it's kind of hard not to eat healthily. But having said that, I do love carbs. I love loads of pasta, rice, potatoes. So they really feature heavily in my diet. I never eat breakfast. I used to love breakfast, but in the last 2 years, because I go to the gym first thing in the morning and found it uncomfortable working out with a full stomach, I stopped eating breakfast and I just wait till lunchtime and have a salad. And cooking, as you probably know, is one of the things that I really, really enjoy. So I always cook every day. Usually lunch and dinner, and that's one of the things that keeps me calm and really fills my day with joy. Next question. Tell us more about your fur baby. Breed, age, how did you find her, etc. Okay, so my dog is called Sophie. She's actually sitting over there looking at me when I said her name. She's a Shih Tzu and she's 8 years old. So I got Sophie when she was 6 months old, and I decided that I wasn't going to have a brand new puppy because there are so many dogs out there who are a little bit older, who are looking for homes, and puppies always sell. So I decided to have a dog that was a little bit older. I basically looked online at local listings, and when I saw her cute little face, I just couldn't resist. And then when I went to see her for the first time, she just ran to me, and I just knew that she was my dog. She just loved me instantly, and I loved her. And she really is the sweetest girl. She's She's with me all the time. Every time I go out the house, she comes with me. I plan my life so that she can be with me, and it brings me real joy. So yeah, Sophie is amazing. Okay, next question. You seem to have a great inner calm. Is this a natural part of your temperament, or do you achieve this quality in another way? This was the first thing that struck me about you and is probably what makes you appealing to all ages and genders. Thank you, that's really sweet. I am quite a calm person. It takes a lot to get me angry and really frustrated. It does happen from time to time, but not very often. And I think the reason why I am calm is because my life has been a bit of a roller coaster. It's been really high and then really low, and I've had ups and downs and some really terrible times and some really amazing times. But what I've learned in my young life is that no matter whether life is going really amazingly or whether it's really terrible, getting angry or frustrated or losing your cool is never ever going to help you. It just makes everything a million times worse. And I have in the past got angry and frustrated and cried and been devastated about things, but it only makes everything a lot worse. And I realised really quickly that you just need to get on, keep going, think about things logically, and actually think, will this matter in 5 years? And if the answer is no, then there you are. In 5 years, it's not going to mean anything to your life. Don't let it stress you out. Another thing that I've learned is that life always resolves itself. Unless you're ill, everything will always resolve itself. The most important thing is your health, and that's something that I really always try to remember. I mean, I've been in some crazy situations in my life where I thought, what the hell am I going to do? And you know what? The next day it's resolved, and it always is. Everything resolves itself. Don't panic, just keep your head and try to just live in the moment. That's what dogs do, actually. They're not thinking about, oh, am I going to get fed tomorrow? They're just living for now. And dogs can really teach you a lot about how to live your life to be calm and cool. So that's my tips. Okay, I'm dying to know if you have any favourite reference or coffee table books. I know you've mentioned having quite a few. I'm just getting into really classic and traditional interiors and could use all the recommendations. Okay, so one of my favourite decorating books of all time is called Inspirational Interiors by Roger Banks Pye. Now, this book was published in 1997, and Roger Banks Pye was an interior decorator who worked for Colfax and Fowler. By the time the book was published, Roger sadly died, which is so sad as it's such an amazing book, and it's one that I always refer to again and again and again. And the reason why it's so good is because it's split up into different chapters. And it's kind of like an interior design textbook. So you have things like flooring, colour schemes, how to group objects, how to hang art, how to group seating, how to make a room comfortable, how to give it style. And it's just probably the best book that I've read about all those areas, and it really is like taking a year's course in interior design. So for everybody who asks me, should I take a course? Before you do take a course and spend a lot of money doing so, first look at books like this, because you can learn a lot. And interior decorators who are hiring interns are going to be more interested in your personal style and how you can project that to them than what school you went to for interior design. I'll also link that book in the description so that you can find it and hopefully buy it. As I said, it is from 1997, but it's still so relevant, and all of the rooms are still really chic and timeless, so I think you'll really like that one. Really enjoying your channel, a balm for the soul, thank you. I'd like to know, are you a tea or a coffee drinker, and if so, which blends? Thanks. Okay, so I don't really drink coffee at all. I mostly drink tea, especially at home, and I'm very boring. I like English breakfast tea, which is a very common brand of tea. It's simple, it's rich and strong, and it really just refreshes you, and I have that a few times a day. When I'm out somewhere, I probably do have more coffees then, and I usually have a latte made with oat milk, which is quite nice and a bit of a treat. But other than that, I'm not really a huge coffee fan. Hi, I would love some tips for making everyday things more elegant. Okay, that's a good question. Now, to make every day more elegant, it's really about doing small things that will elevate your day. And that could be as simple as, instead of drinking a cup of tea from a big thick mug that you got from a store, why don't you drink it from a teacup and saucer? Which is a really lovely thing to bring elegance to your day that will not break the bank and that is really, really simple. So it's just about those small little things that you can do that will bring a little bit more pleasure. Another thing that you can do is that when you come home at night and have dinner, we all tend to rush. If you can just spend a little bit more time and make some effort in terms of using your best cutlery, your best plates, your best glassware, laying the table, enjoying a dinner, even if you only do that once a week, it will really improve your life and make it a little bit more elegant. And people will say, oh, but it's so hard, I'm tired, I had a long day. This is only going to improve your life and make you feel better. It's not going to be something that, you know, you find a bit of a drag. Doing this will make you want to come home and make that evening at home a little bit more enjoyable and bring a little bit of pleasure and variety to your week. And one of my last tips is to use things like flowers to make your life more elegant. I think people think that you have to, you know, have a huge account with an amazing florist and spend hundreds of pounds a month on flowers, but it's really not the case. You can go to the supermarket, you can buy flowers from there, and it's all about how you arrange them and display them. So just take a little bit of time, watch some videos on YouTube about how to arrange some flowers, and doing that will really, really improve your home and make it more elegant. It's so easy to do. You just literally have to take the time and have a bit of patience and practice. And doing these things, again, are things that are only going to improve your life and make you more happy. Hi Nicholas, I would like to know how you're going to decorate for the Christmas holidays. I need tips on keeping things tasteful and elegant. Well, I am excited to let you know that I will actually be doing a Christmas special, and it will be filmed here at my house, and I'm going to show you everything I do to decorate my house for Christmas. So decorating the tree, fireplace wreaths, door wreaths, how I wrap presents, the recipes that I like to cook, and basically just everything to do with Christmas. So that will be coming in the next few weeks. But in terms of how I like to decorate for Christmas, I like to keep things really elegant and simple, nothing over the top, tasteful, calm, pleasurable. Because a lot of people forget that when you are decorating for Christmas, it's very exciting. You start maybe at the end of November, beginning of December, and we go wild with the decorations. But then after a few weeks of living with those decorations, it can become really, really tiresome, and you're overwhelmed with everything that you have. So my advice is, keep it simple, keep it elegant, and think about what you're happy to live with for at least 6 weeks, because that's usually how long we keep up our decorations. Hello Nicholas, where are some of your favourite places to travel? Well, I love to travel, and like everybody else this year, I haven't been anywhere apart from home, so I'm really missing that. But travel, first of all, the UK I think is really amazing, and I love travelling in the UK. One of my favourite places in the world is the Cotswolds, which is kind of the middle part of England, and it's mostly countryside. And I always say that you can literally drive through the whole of the Cotswolds, which takes hours, and you'll never see one ugly thing. It's absolutely beautiful. It's natural. The stone is honey-coloured and beautiful. The little cottages, houses, all stunning, and just one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. So that is a place that I like to travel to. In terms of travelling elsewhere in the world, probably my favourite country in the whole world is Italy. I've been there quite a lot, and I've visited quite a few different places, and I just think it's the most charming, beautiful country in the world. They have amazing food, beautiful landscape, crystal clear seas, wonderful people, elegant style, architecture, history. It's just got everything. So you can go anywhere in Italy, and all different areas in Italy, and whatever you're looking for, they can cater to it. So Italy is definitely one of my favourite places, and I can't wait to return. In terms of places that I've never been and would like to go, actually, believe it or not, I've never been to the US, and I'm absolutely dying to go to the US because I've got so many friends on Instagram and people who follow me who are in the US. Actually, the US is my biggest audience, and I'm just dying to get to the US and meet everyone. And I think it will probably feel like a second home because people are so sweet and have really embraced me, so I feel like I need to very quickly get to the US and just say hello to everybody who's been so sweet. Hello Nicholas, what's your idea of a perfect day? Okay, so my idea of a perfect day would be a Sunday morning, waking up about 9 AM, making myself breakfast in bed because I never eat breakfast and I don't have to go to the gym today, so I make breakfast, climb into bed, have breakfast on a tray. Even though I don't like crumbs in the bed, I'm willing to sacrifice that for this day. And then I'd probably read my favourite newspapers. On the weekend I really like the Financial Times, and inside they have a supplement magazine called How to Spend It, and it's all beautiful things, elegant, beautiful things that you can look at and dream about. Much too expensive for me, completely out of my budget, but I really enjoy reading through that magazine and having a little bit of a dream. So yeah, I would do that. Then I would slowly get dressed, take Sophie for a walk to our local market in Edinburgh, and then I would shop for beautiful fresh vegetables, pastries, breads, and then have a slow walk back home, cook in the kitchen, invite some friends and family over, set the table beautifully, have a lovely glass of wine, have some beautiful bread, have some wonderful food, conversation. Then we'd all go for a lovely walk together. It would be a summer's day, obviously. Quite close by here in Edinburgh we've got a beach, so we'd probably go for a walk on the beach, and then we would come home in the evening, have some more drinks, some conversation, and just have fun and enjoy each other's company. I don't know about you, but I am really missing being able to have people around the house and just interacting and seeing people. It's really sad, and I'm really missing it. So right now, at this point in my life, that would be my perfect day. Okay, I would like to know more about your wardrobe and fashion. You're always wearing very classy, simple, chic outfits. I'm sure many of us would love to hear your styling advice. That's really sweet, thank you. Well, my style is very simple. I don't really like to experiment too much. I figured out a few years ago what I like and what suits me, and I've kind of stuck with that ever since. Now, I don't know whether you can tell on video, but I'm quite short. I'm only 5'6", so it can be really disastrous if I try to experiment too much. And I quickly figured out a few years ago that wearing bold prints on the lower part of my body, on my legs, for example, trousers and jeans, and then something else on top, just breaks me into two and makes me look even smaller. So I decided to figure out how is the way to make myself look more uniform, and that is by sticking to one colour. So you'll probably often see that I'm usually wearing the same colour trousers and the same colour top, and that is deliberate. So that's my number one tip. If you're not very tall and you want to make yourself look a bit more uniform, stick to one colour and stick to plains. Now, I'm not really hugely keen on prints for clothing. I do like it for women, but for men's style I prefer things that are really simple and basic. So I usually wear very plain clothes. I like lots of wool and cashmere in the winter, sweaters, and then in the summer I like to wear really nice, elegant t-shirts with the same colour trousers. A lot of people often comment about how I like to wear white. Yes, I do, especially in the summer. I like to wear white. I think it looks elegant and clean and fresh. And now that the winter is here, you probably see me wearing navy all the time. I'm wearing navy today, and I just find it a really simple, chic, elegant colour that is timeless. That's what works for me, but it may not work for you. So my advice is to find the style that you love, what makes you feel good, and stick with it and just have fun, because clothes are a really fun way to express ourselves and it should make you feel happy. Hi Nicholas, can you please tell us about your skincare routine? Okay, well I do actually have a video about my skincare routine which I will link in the description so that you can watch that. But basically my skincare routine is quite simple. I've had it since I was about 16 years old. As I said earlier, I'm now 30, and I've always tried to just take good care of my skin every single day, twice a day. And that means cleansing, toning, moisturising and using an SPF. A huge part of skincare is not only what you put on the skin, but also what you're doing inside. So if you're drinking lots of water, for example, that will come through and kind of give you an inner glow that comes from within. And that is a really important factor for skincare. A huge part of skincare for me is SPF, and I use a factor 50 sun cream for my face every single day, 365 days a year. It will really give your skin longevity and make it more youthful for many years to come. That's what I think. Hello Nicholas, I want to know, are you single? Yes, I am single. I was actually in a long-term relationship for many years. That person is really important to me. They taught me a lot about the world, a lot about life, encouraged me to do everything that I wanted to do, and really believed in me. So I think when you have a person like that in your life, even if it doesn't work out romantically, to me it's important to make sure that you maintain a good relationship and keep them in your life, because people like that are very rare and very special. Okay, so I hope that this video has been useful and fun in terms of learning more about me and to hear some of my tips about decorating, and also just to give you a little bit more insight about my life. I also wanted to say that I'm so thankful to everybody who's left me such lovely comments. It just makes me want to keep going and doing more and more and more. So really, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And I look forward to continuing on this journey together.